Hello, we are live and in color. My name is Gary. I am the director of the Rocky Mountain Ukulele Orchestra, which is out of business until January at least. And so we are doing daily broadcasts here. I'm going to zip on over to our webpage, which is housed at jollyrogerukulele.com. And we are going to play a couple of tunes today. Whoops. We're going to play. I'm gonna oops, hit the wrong button. Something not good's gonna happen. Anyway, if you are logging in and you are finding this recording, you should go fast forward at least 4 minutes. That's when we will be getting the class started. I thought I had this page set up properly, and now I see I don't. So I have to hit edit, dun, 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 and then I'm going to post our daily link. Right. Link to join will appear here. Command V. People are going to be irritated with me about how long it's taken me to get this posted today. I'll be in trouble. We play instrumental ukulele around these parts, which means that you don't have to sing if you don't want to. Some of you love to sing. I mean, you can still do that if you want, but you don't have to. And we are here every day, Monday through Friday, talking ukulele, playing ukulele. You can either come join the live sessions or you can come join, come see the recording like you're doing now. And we know a bunch of the people who come in almost every day, and some people come every day. I have no idea who they are. Glad they come. A few people check in from time to time, and all we're trying to do is just get better at playing ukulele. Whatever level we're at, we're trying to get to the next level. And so there, I've got everything posted. Everybody should come rushing in. They spent the whole weekend without ukulele, so hopefully they're all, what the heck. Let's see, Cat. Happy Monday. Cat's first one in today, which is crazy. Cat's often the last one in, so she. That's what happens when you miss out on ukulele all weekend. You just figure, I got to get my life together. I got to be the first one in the room. All right, let me get my microphone set up properly. That should rattle your house speakers nice and good. Right about there. Let's see. Valerie is in. Valerie is the one who has been screaming for Beethoven, and so I'm hoping that she has an affinity for Sonatina. Laurel is in today. Monday, either Monday, Monday, right? That's when you have a job, or Monday ukulele, right? Burke is here. Hey, Burke, how are you? Phyllis is in. Lindy, happy day to you. Sounds good. Looking good. Oh, she's. I assume she was going to say looking good. She said looking forward to today. Evelyn in from, it's raining in Cuenca. Oh, man, I want it to be perfect every single day in Cuenca. That's my goal. That's my idea. I'm going to move down. I'm going to move in with Evelyn one of these days. Fran is in. Carol is in. Monday. Can't trust that day. Monday, right? You're pretty smart, Carol. Lynn is in. New Jersey. Sunny in New Jersey. New Jersey had a rough weekend. I saw on the news that it was pretty rainy out there. Let's see. Renee's in. Happy Beethoven week. I know. I'm so excited. I actually adore this tune, and we'll talk about it in just a second. Lanny is finally back. Lanny was out. Uh, sometimes Lanny drops off the map, and I'm going to tell Lanny's story. Remember a couple of years ago, they had a volcano that went off in Hawaii, and like it just went off, and all these people were like, it was going over their houses and stuff. Lanny was one of those people, so I'm glad Lanny is safe. He hangs out in volcanoes, so not always good for you. Let's see who else is in. The Q is in. Hey Q, Lynn. I was listening to the YouTube link. It is a beautiful. It absolutely, and it's absolutely beautiful song. Every single moment of it is stunning, and so I'm super excited to do it. Did you change your PDF format? I can't seem to print it. Let's see. I do it exactly the same way every day. Let me take a look here. PDF, click. You know what, Alan? Probably try downloading it first and then printing it. So don't print it directly from the website, but it pulls up when you click on it. It should pull up in a separate tab, and then you want to download it and then open it up from Adobe Reader to print it. I have had trouble printing directly from the web as well, and it just seems to depend on what type of computer I'm on. I think for some reason both Mac and Microsoft hate Adobe, and I don't know why. They could make this easy on us, but they don't. So I would recommend downloading the PDF first and then pulling it up in Adobe Reader and try printing it that way. Hopefully that'll solve the problem, Alan. Lindy, let's see. I'm looking good too. Q, let's see. Red is in. Gary and Diane are ready to go. Ready with colanders. That's a joke. I'm going to tell them. It's not really a joke, actually. I'm going to tell that joke. Pauline is in today. Jerry, hey Jerry. Christine in from Bozeman. Chris is in today. Diane is back this week. Hey Diane, good to see you. Jackie's back. Went camping last week, rested my hand and arm too. Yeah, right. Guys, make sure you're doing that from time to time. Just put the darn ukulele down, right? We don't want any injuries. So if it starts being like, ow, then you want to get out. Yours printed really small. Susan. Yeah, it's great. I will double check tonight on this, the printouts of these. It works perfectly fine on my end. The only thing I could possibly think of is because I always print directly from the software as PDF. I didn't do anything differently this time, so I don't know why you guys would be fighting the PDF. Will the rest of you let me know if your normal way of printing out the PDF worked for you, so that way I know if it's specific to a couple individuals or if everybody's having the same problem. I can't imagine why in the world it would be different. Hey, Susan, welcome in. Jerry, welcome in. Vicky, also in from Bozeman. It's Bozeman Day, and it's Beethoven Day in Bozeman. Leslie's here. Rolling up your sleeves. I know, right? Patty is in. Let's see, Lanny. Lanny's printed okay. All right, Laura. Okay. All right. So most people, well, some people have printed fine and some people that didn't. No problems. Everywhere. Okay. All right. So I'm gonna assume. Well, Jerry is a top level technical person, so if it printed weird for her, I'm sure she knows how to run her printer. So there must be something about the way it was encoded. If you listen to the piano link, you'll know that there's a couple other parts to this, and over the next week we'll be playing each of the parts, and then we'll find out if it's something weird with the file. I can always copy it onto a new format, but I always copy onto the same blank and build it off of that original blank. So I don't know why in the world we'd be having printing problems. I did download it first. Oh well. Try fit to page. I don't know what else to tell you. Oh, printing, right? Printing. Jeez Louise. Okay, so welcome back. It's Monday, July 13th. We are 1 week into the new member stuff, and so a lot of the how to finger and how to play finger style, the initial stuff we got through last week, that kind of stuff includes doggone all the way down to Frere Jacques last week, where we're talking about one note at a time instead of strumming. We worked a little bit on as we always do, a little bit on strumming last week to make sure that that was going to make some sense for you. We also worked on soft kitty, which is where we started talking about, hey, there's more than one chord in life, and we go back and forth between those things. And so last week was a little light for new members, right? So if you are new to playing ukulele, we were a little bit thin for you. This week we'll dig in. We'll really give you the good stuff. This is the good stuff. Okay, so it starts with Spaghetti Monster. Now, some of you don't know who Spaghetti Monster is. There is, after this, if you're over 18, I want you to go to Google and type in Flying Spaghetti Monster and just read for a while. There is, bottom line, there was a controversy in Kansas. I think it was Kansas, that they wanted to teach creationism as a science in the science classroom. And in that controversy, this kid wrote in and says, hey, I believe that the flying spaghetti monster created the universe. So I expect you to teach him in the science curriculum as well. And he had, beer volcanoes and pirates and all this silly stuff in this thing. Well, it ended up in the board minutes for the State Board of Education, and then it became a kind of a internet joke. And then the guy went out and actually founded an official Church of the Flying Spaghetti Monster. So it's a real religious organization. And because of that, you are now required, the Department of Motor Vehicles, because it's a religion, they're required to let you wear your religious garb when you get your driver's license photo, apparently. And so you can actually get your driver's license photo taken while you're wearing a spaghetti colander on your head. And so on their website, they have all these, or they used to, I haven't been to their website in a long time, but they used to have this, image gallery, and everybody would post their driver's license photo wearing a spaghetti colander. So that's what the flying spaghetti monster is. And so my version of this had nothing to do with any of that. It's just I thought the flying spaghetti monster was funny, and so I wrote a song about it. And this is before I was teaching ukulele. But when I started teaching ukulele, the one thing I noticed about this song is it fits perfectly into that early idea of, hey, we're going to pluck some notes and then we're going to strum a little bit. And we're going to pluck a few notes and we're going to strum a little bit. And you end up with what turns out to be a really pleasant tune with a fairly sophisticated chord arrangement that makes you sound like you know what you're doing on ukulele. And so I teach this piece to everybody. What's nice about it is that everybody means hardly anybody, right? We think everybody likes ukulele because we like ukulele, but hardly anybody pays any attention to it. So you have a song here that's going to make you sound amazing, that's going to play easily for you. And when you play it for somebody, they're not going to sing along because they don't know the song. They are going to be like, boy, that sounds really nice. That sounds really pretty. You are a good ukulele player. And you're like, I know, right? And so the idea that I have behind teaching you this is, one, to get you started in chord melody. That's the real purpose of it. But the second thing is to start getting you kind of away from thinking about chord structures as something you strum, but as something that's lying around, hanging around underneath your music. There's these chord structures. Beethoven is classic for you're playing in one key for a while, and all of a sudden you're in this completely different key, and you don't know how it happened. Because he's a master at working those chord structures underneath the music going on. And when you get into jazz, that's what they do, is they have this very simple melody, and then they put all this crazy complexity underneath in the chord structure. And I want you guys to begin to tackle that. And we start with this song here. So let's talk about the final important reason why I give this to you. You need a song that you can play that makes you sound great, that nobody else can sing along to, because once they start singing, then you feel like you got to keep up with them and you're going to wipe out. So, and that since they don't know it, if you screw it up a little bit, they're not going to know. You're not going to screw it up because it's actually pretty playable. The bigger issue, I think, when you're playing this is that you're now going to take a few notes, and then we're going to add a chord. And then we're going to take a few more notes, we're going to add another chord. We're going to take a few more notes, add another chord. And as you're looking through the tough uke line on this, you see all these zeros, right? When you figure out zeros are good, I hope. What's cool about this is the chord structure, by just moving one finger around, gets increasingly complex moment by moment in the song. And so what I want to do then is just talk about the first chord is a C chord. Okay, so that's this one, right? 0, 0 is 3. Okay, that's one of our favorite chords in life, right? That's why we are alive. And then the next chord is a C major 7. Now we're only going to just move one finger. Okay, now C major 7th is a 4-finger chord on the piano. Okay, we don't let piano players have 4-finger chords until their 5th year. Okay, it's just not a good idea, right? But it's a little bit of a joke. But we don't generally give jazz chords to newer players. You get it on, day 2 or 3, however many days you've been hanging around with me, right? That's beautiful, right? The next chord, the C6, all we're going to do is take that finger and take it off. Okay? And you have this Hawaiian chord. We don't run into sixth chords a lot in music. We run into it a lot in Hawaiian music because of the ukulele that's tuned to a C6 naturally. And so if you put a bar, D6, E6, F6, okay, and so you just have to play with one bar and a healthy rhythm, and you get Hawaiian music. And so so we get that easily. And then the other chord I wanted to talk about in measure 8, it shows this one. Okay, and this is one where we're going to come down like that. We're not playing this first string. It's just a G string, and then we're going to play this chord here. This string is also going to be open. Okay, it's different. If you're making a G chord, you make it like this, right? But now we're not going to play this string at all, and we're not going to do that. So now we have 0, 0, 3. Okay, and in some of our sheet music, this functions as a C chord. Okay, this is a C chord, and this is also a C chord. Okay, those are both C chords. But in this instance, this is functioning as a G chord without a D in the bass. So it ends up being a G/C chord. Okay, and that's one of those things that starts to make you mental when you're a new player. Sometimes this is a C chord, and sometimes this is a G/C. What the heck is going on here? Mathematical, behind the scenes music theory stuff you really don't probably need to know, right? It might be fun to learn about it someday. Just know it's a G/C chord. What that means is it's a G chord, but there's a C string in the bass. What's funny about that is when you have anytime you have a chord that only has 2 notes in it, in this case G's and C's, GC, 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 if you were playing that on an electric guitar, we would call that a power chord. It's a rock power chord. So you end up at this moment at measure 8 with this rock power chord. And what power chords do on electric guitar is when you're putting the notes down through your wire into your amplifier, if you put overly complex chords down into an amplifier, it starts to get confused as to which notes it wants to make loud and which ones need to be quieter and how they all get along. And it can be pretty soon you can end up with this just mess of sound coming out of your amplifier that makes no sense. But when you use power chords, there's only G's and only C's. They always get along no matter what. And so power chords, a lot of rock players use those because they're not going to freak out the amplifier, and it just gives you this nice beautiful wall of sound that makes perfect sense. So you have one of those chords in here as well. So you got a fairly complex chord structure in here without particularly being a complex song. So that's my Spaghetti Monster. My sales pitch on this is if you don't have a song memorized, you should just memorize this one because it's going to make you sound good. Every time you walk into a music store and they have a ukulele on the wall, you're going to get it down. You're going to play My Spaghetti Monster, and you're going to be like that. And then people will look up and go, boy, that's way better than when they come in and they sing Over the Rainbow badly, And so that's why we have something like this. So you can have a song worth playing right off the bat. Okay. Let's see. Let me see if I have questions over here, or we just got everybody saying hi. Let's see. Linda's in queue just for info. Mine printed full size using download and then print. Okay, so the printing looks like it went okay for most of you. For some reason, we had a few that freaked out. I used to play Beethoven when I took piano lessons back in the dark days. Yeah, this sonatina we're going to play today. Just brief aside. The sonatina we're playing today is considered dead solid intermediate piano playing, right? So it's not beginning piano playing by any means, and it's not advanced piano playing because that's when we're talking about playing the sonatas. But this would be the piece we're playing today generally leads as an introduction into Beethoven's 2 easier sonatas. There's 2 sonatinas that we like to play, and then we play then the 2 easier sonatas. So you're just at the cusp of this being a super legitimate musician, right? And there's nothing illegitimate about starting piano, but there is something pretty legitimate about continuing on with it. And same thing with this. Most of us start off pretty, we're beginning ukulele players, and then by this point you're playing at this level where you are legit. And I don't know what that gets you, but anyway, that's what it is. All right, let's see. Run that by again, G and C. So remember in the circle of fifths, we talked about this deal, right? C, if I put C here, C, D, E, F, and G, okay? C and G, they're always best friends. They always hang out. And when you play them simultaneously, they don't fight each other. They're really happy hanging out with one another. That's why C and G work together. So isn't a power chord the root and the fifth? That's exactly the point. Gary is on it. So if your root is C, then your fifth is G. Same thing if I play a D here, E, F, G, A. If I play a D and an A together, that's also a power chord. They get along really well. They just come rushing at you. Now, you guys don't really need to know what power chords are because you're not going to run into that problem with this. Even if you plug these guys in, they just don't have enough sustain to really cause the sort of problems that happen when you have these hard body electric guitars. They just never stop sending sound into the amplifier. And so if you simplify the chord structure on electric guitar, in order to prevent sort of this mess of notes coming out all simultaneously. And so that's what power chords do. Again, I wouldn't spend a lot of time worrying about what a power chord is as a ukulele player. It's just not going to come up as being something you need to know. But luckily enough, on this song, you get one. All right, that's the chords. But we're not going to play the chords because right? We did that last week. What we are going to play is the melody. Start off, okay? We're going to start off with ukulele melody, measure 1. It says 0, 0, 0, 0. All you have to do is make sure you click the right string. So it's 0, 0, 0, 0. And then your next note is a 3 right here. The 3, 3. You play that twice, okay? Next note, 0, 0, 0. The same thing as before. 0, 0, 0, 0. Next note's a 2. We're going to play a couple of those. 2, 2, then we're going to play those zeros again. 0, 0, 0, 0, and then another 0, 0, 0, and then we're going to play that 2 again, 2, and then the 3, 3. Notice I didn't take my 2 off. I just added my 3. That helps continuity of sound. 2, 3, and then I have to move my ring finger here, so I'm going to bunny hop up and play this 3, 3. Okay, so let's play that whole section together. 1, 2, ready, play. Oh, 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 3, 3. Oh, 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 2, 2. Oh, 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 2, 3, 3. That's the hard part of that first part right there. That's the moment. Okay. Next thing is a little bit of jumping around on the fretboard here, but you'll be fine. Hit the 1. 1, and then the 0 on the same string, O, and then a 2 on the third string, 2, O on that same string, O, go back to your 3 here, hit it twice, 3, 3, we're going to play that exact thing again, 1, O, 2, O, 3, 3, and then we're going to wrap up with a little tiny variation here, 1, O, 2, instead of the 0, hit the 3, 3, and then the other 3. 3. Okay, so let's play from measure 9 to the end, just so we know how that goes. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, oh, 2, oh, 3, 3. 1, oh, 2, oh, 3, 3. 1, oh, 2, 3, 3. That's your melody. Okay. Sounds fine, right? It's lovely. Okay. Now what we're going to do, whenever we can, we're going to add in a thumb down strum. You see, go down to your tough uke line. Notice everywhere where there's a wiggly, okay, those wigglies are called glissandos. And we're going to take that and we're going to use our thumb and we're just going to roll down. Just a beautiful rolled chord. Okay. That's what we're going to do. Now, important moment happens at measure 8. I have to teach you a concept called the rest stroke, and that's 0, 0, 3. When we do a rest stroke, and I want you to physically do this, your thumb goes down, you hit that 3, it's 0, 0, 3. You're not going to play this first string, so your thumb is going to rest on it. Okay, so don't do this. Don't do, right? Try to pull it away so you don't hit this. You're going to hit it, and you're also going to make this this string sound terrible. So what we're really looking for is strum, and then your thumb is hanging out on the string you're not going to play, whatever that string that happens to be, and it's actually like it's sitting on a hammock, just hanging out. Okay, that way this string, there's no possible way it's going to accidentally go off, right? And it also has the happy consequence of you tend to hit this string right above it a little harder as you're diving in for your rest, and it just kind of brings that melody note out a little bit prettier. Okay, all right, let's we'll go through, we'll talk about it a little bit, and then once we get into it, you'll figure out, yeah, this is easy. Okay, so 0 0, let's go to the tough uke line, and then we're going to do measure 1, same as before, 0 0 0 0, but now we're going to do a nice C stroke all the way down, strum strum. Okay, now we're going to do those zeros again, 0 0 0 0. Now we're going to do this 2, okay, and then a nice glissando. And then we got all zeros coming up, right? 0 0 0 0. Beautiful strum. Okay. Put that 2 back on. Put that 3 back on. And then let's bunny hop over to the third string or the second string, 3rd fret. And now here's your rest stroke. Okay, and that's going to last for 4 beats. So when we get there, we don't want to rush. We're going to let that 4 beat measure hang out. Now we've got our same thing as before, 1020, 1020, and then again that little rest stroke, strum, strum, and then 1020, 1020, little strum, and then final wrap it up, 1 2 3, and then a beautiful C strum. Okay, that's going to work great. That's going to be a song worth memorizing because I promise you're going to sound good on it. And it gives you a full set of ukulele skills you're using. You're using the chords, you're using the melody, you're smashing them together. Everything's going to sound beautiful. There's almost nothing left that I have to teach you in music, right? Is to get the chord and melody put together. Okay, let's play from the top all the way through. And I'm going to sing the lyrics because they're just so beautiful. A tear will drop from your eye. It's absolutely, it's written at a level of emotional complexity that you just simply can't avoid crying. Here we go from the top. 1, 2, 3, 4. My spaghetti monster playing ukulele, flying through the rainbows with my heart. 2, 3, 4. Tasty marinara, yummy parmesan, we're Pastafarians. Hold on to the chord, let your ukulele finish ringing out, put it down, accept your wild applause as the tears are pouring down your face from how beautiful you just played that, and you've got your first song worth memorizing. Okay, how many songs you're going to need to memorize? I have a joke. It turns out it's not a joke, but it is a joke. You need to memorize 3 songs in your life. Okay, you need to have one song because somebody's going to say, as soon as they find out you're playing ukulele, they're going to say, hey, play me something. And you play them this, right? Then they're done. They're never going to ask you to play a second thing. They just want you to prove to them that you knew what you were doing, and you now know what you're doing. And so you need to have that song. Nobody will ever, ever, ever ask you to play a second song, as far as I can tell. You're going to force a second song on them because you're in love with ukulele, and you're going to force it into their ears. So you need to memorize a second song that's your song, something that you believe in, that you're passionate about, and that song over the lifetime of you playing a ukulele will change, right? But for me, it's either 5'2", Ain't She Sweet, or Moon River, right? One of those 3, it's going on. I'm going to force that on them. And honestly, people will fight you if you try to give them the third song. Even your mom doesn't want to hear a third song. So just know you don't need to memorize a ton of music, but you need to memorize something so you can play stuff without going to get your sheet music. And so this would be one of those songs that's, for those of you that are newer, getting your chops together with fingerstyle play. this would be the piece that I would recommend you do. Um, yeah, because the other problem, you want to, of course, you want to memorize Bohemian Rhapsody, right? But the problem is once you start that, everybody's going to start singing along with you, and then you're going to have to keep up, and you can't do that yet. So don't pick Piano Man, right? And think that you're going to be successful. You're not. It's too much, right? Start with something basic where you got all of the pieces and parts together there. The other nice thing about this is, and I don't have any problem with you grabbing, blowing in the wind and are you going to blowing in the wind, however it goes, that's absolutely fine. But people really and people want to do that. They don't necessarily want to listen to that. And so don't be confused that people want to hear you cranking out Puff the Magic Dragon. They don't. Okay, you want to do it, you want to make it go that direction, but people don't really want to consume that information. All right, that's my Spaghetti Monster. This week, what I would be doing if I were a newer player is just double checking that things from last week were making sense. Is Frere Jacques going well? Can I play that? Is Soft Kitty going well? Can I play that? And now my Spaghetti Monster. Tomorrow we tackle, I hope I put this in the right order. Tomorrow we should be tackling Three Blind Mice, which is, again, another opportunity for us to talk about how we take a chord and the melody, smash them together, and play them simultaneously. And while Three Blind Mice is not it's actually a fabulous song, but it's not this kind of song that you're going to use as a piece to play for people, but it's a piece where we're going to just dig in and make sure that playing two or more strings at the same time with those rest strokes is actually sitting into your noggin and making sense. And so that's where we are if you're a newer player. Hopefully, if you're an older player, that's not the right word. If you're a more experienced player, you're thinking, all right, he always starts with Frere Jacques. I get it. That way they learn how to play melody. Then he goes to Soft Kitty. I don't know why he does that one. And then he goes to this one. Oh, this is when he's going to, so that we can start working on an easy song with chord and melody together. So that's how in 3 lessons, which is often one lesson, right, depending on how long you have the people, in 3 songs, you get people to the very top level of playing music. Because as you know, when we go grab Beethoven right now, we're going to be playing some melody and adding in some chords. That's the same exact thing when you're playing high-level Beethoven and My Spaghetti Monster. So let's get people started off right. That way, when they find out, hey, this is a thing that I can do for the rest of my life, there's always going to be another song where I need to figure out, okay, here's how the melody goes, here are the chords, smash them together, everything's great. If we don't teach them in that manner, if we just teach them chords, they're going to be like, oh, this is fun. I sing Riptide, and then I sing Wagon Wheel, and then I mess up Over the Rainbow, and then I'm done. And I don't ever have anything else to learn or try or dig into or work on. And while there's nothing wrong with teaching that way, it just definitely it does have a time limit as to how long that's going to be exciting for you. Having said that, we have plenty of people here in Denver who've been playing that I know who have been playing for many, many years who have never learned how to play any other way. And one thing they all have in common, they're really fine singers. They really love singing. They absolutely adore singing. And if you run into somebody like that, yeah, they're fine with chords. They're fine, right? But 80% of the people you run into who bought a ukulele are not interested in singing that, and they shouldn't be singing, honestly. I'm that guy, right? And so just know that when people are wanting to learn ukulele, what they think they want and what they really need are usually a little different. You're asking them to play a little bit harder level, and they'd like everything to be a C chord, right? That's what they like. And so that's where Three Blind Mice serves as kind of the end of a line. Like, Mozart, it was the end of the classical era. And Three Blind Mice is sort of the end of your strumming days. And that's when you move on to chord melody and fingerstyle play. All right, let's see. Anybody else snuck in here? Oh, Christy's in today. Hey, Christy. All right, so let's dig into Beethoven. Let's go ahead and switch over to that. And let me give you sort of the rundown on what we're going to be doing with Beethoven Week. So lots of things are going on. Those of you guys who are members, I've been trying to put up at least a song every weekend. I'm failing, of course, but I'm going to. That's my goal, is to make sure every weekend you have something that's just for you guys, either a Disney tune or a Beatles tune. I spent the weekend moving Megan out of my house, so I didn't get something posted for you, but I do have Strawberry Fields that I'm digging into for a private student, which I will then post up for you guys. And then I don't remember what Disney song I had. I can't remember. I can't remember. I'll figure it out. I am also working on Remember Me. The problem with Remember Me is that it goes, those of you know from Coco, it doesn't fit on a ukulele. So I'm having to do some octave adjustments on it to make it fit on a ukulele. And that's what turns out that it's going to take a little bit more to work on it than I wish. So I will get that one to you guys as well, because I know a lot of you saw that movie and want to do it. And again, don't be shy about tossing me an email. I'm not always going to be able to respond to all of your emails, but I am for sure interested in, hey, I want to do this song, or I want to do that song. Otherwise, we just do whatever songs Gary likes, and that's not always a good thing. So so make sure you're letting me know, even if it doesn't fit into anything else we've done before. Hey, that I had this song that I liked back in as a kid, or I went to Ireland and I learned this one song. Let me know about those. Sometimes I just grab them right then and there and do them, and it's fun. And so please let me know the songs that you think would be fun. Just toss it to me on an email, and just know that I do get overwhelmed with emails, and sometimes I can't write you back. Other things going on this week with Beethoven, we're going to be dividing this sonatina into all 4 days this week. I might be done with posting it by Wednesday, and then we'll just have Thursday to go over it. But we will, on Friday, we'll take all of the pieces and parts that I've created, and then we'll shove them all together and we'll play it top to bottom. I would really recommend, today I posted, and I'll copy this link down for every day, that you take time. It's about a 4-minute long song, that you go take time to listen to a piano player do it. We're obviously it doesn't fit on things that fit on piano don't necessarily fit on ukulele, and so there's always adjustments that you have to make as an arrangement, and just be aware we're going to get that pretty darn close. The other thing that I think you'll need to know is that his sonatina is in G, and it won't fit on ukulele in the key of G, so I moved it down to the key of F, and no one will know if you don't tell him. Okay, so it's our secret that you're playing this in F when it's a sonatina in G. He does have a sonatina in F, and we'll eventually put that one on there as well. So I'm calling it sonatina rather than sonatina in G, and we will all agree that we're playing it in G, even though we're playing it in F. So that's going to go on all week. We're going to work on this song. So again, do take time to go listen to the piano version of it. You'll love the tune. It's absolutely a gorgeous tune, and there's some discussion about whether he actually wrote it. It's different than anything else that he ever wrote, but in doing a ton of research, I think it's highly probable he wrote it as a young boy, like when he was 13 years old or something, and then just left it in the box kind of thing, and never because it's very classical in nature. It's very old school, and Beethoven is not known for being old school. He was known for being an innovator, and so I think it's highly probable that he wrote it as a kid and then moved away from this style and just never ever did anything with the piece. They found it in his stuff when he died, and so it was published after he died, but there doesn't seem to be any reasonable discussion about who else would have written it, and so I think that's probably where it came from. But the jury is definitely out on to whether this is a Beethoven piece and when he wrote it. Tonight we will be doing a standard notation. So those of you guys who have said to me, hey, I really want to know how to read standard notation for the ukulele, and go to the Global Institute page and download the standard notation document that I added on earlier today. It's good. It'll help you understand how to read ukulele melody lines without tablature. And again, you guys know my feeling on this. There's no reason to do that, but if for a few of you with solid music backgrounds, you're like, yes, I really need to know my standard notation. You don't, but but you do. And so We're going to cover that tonight and just go through all of the basics. And those of you who don't know anything about standard notation, there is a weakness in tablature in that it doesn't tell you how long to hold the note. And so we'll talk about why I always include standard notation in all of the music so that you know how long to hold the note, and then you use tablature to tell us how to what to hold, right? So all that's going on today and then this week, and so it's going to be a wonderful week. I'm very excited about all of the music that we're going to be playing this week and tonight at Ukulele Institute. Okay, that's a lot of talking. Whew, I feel like I have not taken a breath yet. Beethoven Sonata Part 1. You have all the chords. Okay, that's not for you. That is not for you. Those are for if you decide to play a duet. And with this song, you are very likely to want to play a duet. If you will read through the chord chart, you will find out there's nothing to this song. There's nothing underneath it hanging out very sophisticated. F chord. Remember our music theory. If F is our root, F, G, A, B flat, C, and possibly D minor are going to be chords that show up in this song. Here's what shows up: an F, a B flat, yay, C or C7 that shows up. And if I remember right, there's not even a D minor in here. Yeah, so it's a 3-chord song. Okay, all this music, 3 chords. Okay, very exciting. So the chords are not really for you. If you get a duet partner, if you have somebody you hang out with and play ukulele with, it has to be in your family these days, right? But if you have somebody you're hanging out with, they will play the chords 1, 2, 3, 4. Nothing fancy. Don't make it fancy. And then you're going to be bombing through the melody, which is going to be a challenge. And so I would like to. So you've got the chords, but you don't really need them. Okay. What we're going to work on is first just talking about melody. Because this is an old sonatina and it sounds very classical, you will do yourself a huge favor by just playing the melody. Just play the melody a million times. Just really get that deep, 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 lots and lots of notes feeling to it. And so let's start with playing melody. We'll take our time. We'll go through it. Lots and lots of eighth notes. Okay, so let's play measures 1 through 8, just the straight melody. Those of you who are newer, this is a great chance for you to get involved. Okay, so here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 3, 1, 3, 0, 1. 8, 3, 3, 0, 0, 1, 1. 0, 3, 0, 1, 3. 3, 5, 3, 0, 1, 3, 1. 3, 0, 3, 3, 1, 3, 0, 1, 5, 1, 5, 5, 3, 5, 7, 8, 3, 5, 1, 0, 3, 1, 3, 3, 0, 1. All right, I messed that up pretty good. Let's slow it down a lot. That started to get away on me pretty good. So let's slow it down a little bit. And again, the MP3 is on the website, so go listen to the MP3 while you're playing it. If you've got a cell phone and you can download it into your cell phone, use one of those tempo slowing apps to slow this thing way, way down to practice it. Okay, from the top, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 3, 1, 3, 0, 1. 8, 3, 3, 0, 0, 1, 1. 0, 3, 0, 1, 3. 3, 5, 3, 0, 1, 3, 1, 3, 0, 3, 3, 1, 3, 0, 1, 5, 1, 5, 5, 3, 5, 7, 8, 3, 5, 1, 0, 3, 1, 3, 3, 0, 1. I went too fast on the last 3. I'd like to do it again. Let's go slow, Vicky says. Let's go really slow, right? There's a lot of notes coming at you, and they're all over the place. Here's how you know when you're putting a piece of music together, whether it's played on a ukulele or not, right? If it makes perfect sense on piano and no sense whatsoever on a ukulele, you know you're dealing with a piano tune. Okay, 5'2" is perfect example. 5'2" fits on a ukulele like it was like a glove, like fits right on there. You know it was written on a ukulele. Most music is not written on a ukulele, so sometimes we have to do a lot of work for something that would be fair, not simple, but simpler on a piano. Okay, let's go. Let's take Biggie's advice. Way slower. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 3, 1, 3, oh, 1, 8, 3, 3, oh, oh, 1, 1, oh, 3, oh, 1, 3, 3, 5, 3, oh, 1, 3, 1, 3, oh, 3, 3, 1, 3, oh, 1, 5, 1, 5, 5, 3, 5, 7, 8, 3, 5, 1, oh, 3, 1, 3, 3, oh, 1. Okay, I finally got the rhythm right. Okay, so that's what we're going to be going for. Okay, let's do it one more time, just that slow. Is playing slow a good idea when you're starting a new song? The answer is playing slow is a good idea when you're finishing the song. Okay, playing slow is the one thing we all do as musicians. We don't do near enough of as musicians. Play slow, 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 slow. Because when you play fast, you start desperately grabbing for things and you're creating bad habits, right? If you will play something at a half speed or a quarter speed to make sure your fingering is correct. I noticed just now, boy, I'm busily figuring out all my fingering, which is not, which we want to get that figured out as quickly as possible so we don't teach bad habits to our fingers. And then we will be much more successful as we start to speed it up. Okay, so again, about that slow. Vicky's right, nice and slow. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 3, 1, 3, oh, 1, 8, 3, 3, oh, oh, 1, oh, oh, 3, oh, 1, 3, 3, 5, 3, oh, 1, 3, 1, 3, oh, 3, 3, 1, 3, oh, 1, 5, 1, 5, 5, 3, 5, 7, 8, 3, 5, 1, oh, 3, 1, 3, 3, oh, 1. Okay. For those of you who have some experience with this tune, remember you've got the main melody on this hand, and then you have a ton of Alberti bass going on this hand. And so I've tried when those places where I could to go ahead and pull that up, so it ends up feeling very finger styley, but we're pulling up bass notes into the main melody, and so it initially strikes you as, oh, that's not right. But what we're not remembering is that, man, the left hand is doing all sorts of cool stuff on this song while you're playing this really stunning melody on this hand. And so in order to make the piece sound correct on ukulele, where we only have one hand, we got to pull up some of those bass notes up. And I tried to keep it rational, like not crazy amount of that going on. All right. Yeah, we're Vicky. All right. So Vicky said, slow down. We slowed down and it worked. There we go. That's that. We just learned life lesson number 27, right? Slow down. Okay. Now, those are our first 8 measures. How are we doing on time? All right. We're not going to get through the whole thing today, but you know what we're working on. Okay. Now, let's go talk tough uke. Okay. What I did was when it made sense, I went ahead and put the chord in. When it's going to be too hard to get to the chord, I just took them out. Okay. And it's fine because generally the chord structure is not so complicated that we're missing out on anything. We're going to be adding in the chord when it makes sense. And when there's just no hope of us getting to it realistically, then I did not include the chord in the tough uke. Okay. So let's grab an F chord and let's get started there. Okay. I would suggest, okay, and I want you to listen to this with a grain of salt. When you play classical music on a ukulele, we like this. Okay? It sounds more like classical music. Bing, 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 bing. Bing, 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 bing. Okay. That's going to give you that classical sound that we tend to associate with classical music, right? Nothing, almost nothing that we play as classical music is actually classical, right? It's a very specific time frame, but we end up calling everything that's not that was written before 1900 classical, right? And it's not true. But I will also, because this is written by Beethoven, who was a romantic composer, he likes big sounds and big rushing, crashing kinds of stuff. You're going to do yourself a favor by also trying sometimes using your thumb and filling out those chords a little bit. So I want you to try both ways. Okay, I want you to try playing this with your thumb, like we tend to do with tough uke. But then I also want you to try it with your claw, so that both you get a chance to find out what your way of creating classical music on the ukulele is going to sound best. With Beethoven, I think you can go both ways, right? You can go with the strum, you can go with the pluck, and that's going to sound awesome. If I am correct that he wrote this as a young man and then just left it in the box, my suspicion is that it would have been very classically. His brain was very classical as a young man and became a more romantic composer as he grew older. I would say you're probably going to come closer to making it sound like what he would have thought by doing the plucks. But again, let's Beethoven out up a little bit. Okay, here's your F chord. Okay, nice and slow, even slower than we were doing before. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. F at your ring finger. Bum. 1, 3. Oh, F chord, strum. Make sure that's the rest stroke is. Now go grab your 8. 8, 3. Now here's what I was doing in rehearsal, and I just blew it. When you hit this 8, don't go for this one with your pinky or your index finger. Pinky on 8. Don't use your index finger here because you're going to have a problem with the next chord. Hit that 8 and then grab your ring finger here. 3. That is going to give you time to put the F chord on, and then you can do. Okay, get that. Then 2 zeros. 1. Got a full C7 here. Okay, take the 1 up. 3, 0, 1, 0, 0, 3 from My Spaghetti Monster. Okay, hit the 3, 5. Right pinky on 5. Nice C chord here. 0, 1, 3, and then back to your F chord. Pinky on 3. Move your pinky up to the second 3. 1, 3, 0, full B flat. Go grab the 5 with your pinky, and I'm going to go ahead and let go of that B flat. I'm going to get the idea, and then I'm going to move on, right? I'm not going to, I initially had it up here on 5, and I was like, this is going to be a bummer if we do it that way. So hit the B flat chord, and this is a perfect place to talk about if that B flat is not going to happen for you, just throw it out. It's not necessary. Just hit the 1 and move on. You're not cheating. You're not giving up. You're not caving into peer pressure, right? If you can do a B flat, sounds great. Do it. If it doesn't sound great and you don't like doing it, skip it. Okay. So there's the F. Go grab the 5, 1, 5, 5, 3, 5. Slide up to 7, and then you've got this beautiful F chord. We've done this one. I call this the Renee chord now. All 5s and an 8. Okay, beautiful. And then what I did on the tough uke here is because it's too hard to get to the 3 and back to the 5, I'm just going to take my pinky up to this 8 on the second string and play that same note. Okay, so strum 8, then lift up, and your bar is holding the 5. 5. Go grab the 1, 1 F chord, pinky. Whoops, sorry. Hit the 1, hit the 3, and that little partial strum. And then the F chord to finish up. Okay, so we'll go back through. We'll go real slow on that. Also, pay attention that measure 8. You're going to have a tendency. I've been doing it all day today. Da 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 dum dum dum. Right, bum bum bum. Right, because we're going so fast with all these eighth notes that when we get to 8, we're going to go too fast for them. They turn to quarter notes. Bum bum bum. Okay, so give yourself time to let that develop. Okay, from the top. Tough uke if you can. If you cannot, just play the straight melody. Okay, just got home. We'll regroup and start class from the beginning. All right, Sandy. Yeah. Sandy, basically what I did was gave you everybody the secret to being a professional musician. Everybody here knows what's going on. So if you don't go back and listen to it, you're not going to know the secret. And so, yeah, go back and read it again. All right, here we go. From the top, nice and slow. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. Strum, strum, 1, 3, oh, strum, 8, 3, strum, oh, oh, 1, strum, strum, 3, oh, 1, strum, 3, 5, strum, oh, 1, 3, strum, 3, oh, that was too long, 3, strum, 1, 3, oh, B flat, strum, 5, 1, 5, 5, 3, 5, 7, strum, 8, 5, 1, F, 3, 1, 3, strum, hold it, oh, hold it, strum. Okay, that's what we're working toward. And guys, as we know, just as the Broadway stuff, the jazz stuff, classical music is going to give us that same exact problem where we're all over the place, and we're going to come up with our best solution as us as individual players, and then we're going to have confidence that that's what we're doing, right? So if you have to drop some notes, or if you have to just like I'm just not going to play those 3 notes, just don't play them, right? Beethoven's not going to come and punch you in the face. And the fact that you're playing a sonatina on a ukulele is beyond ridiculous. It's a level of playing music that you're not supposed to do, right? This is hard enough on piano. To make it work on this is even harder, I think. Okay, let's give this one more playthrough, then we'll talk very briefly about the rest of what's going on in this piece. Okay, so from the top, nice and slow. I'm going to try now plucking and see what kind of tone I get out of it. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, much different feeling for me just plucking it. I'm positive when I play this the final time around, I'm going to be doing a ton of thumb on it. I just think it sounds nice. But again, try it both ways for you and see. Like some of you are actually working on that, like you're working on developing your claw. This is a perfect opportunity to continue to develop that idea. We would love for us to be able to have perfect tonality with both the claw and the thumb. And so you want to, give yourself an opportunity to try it both ways and see which way works the best. And as always with most songs, it goes pretty well one way for some parts, and another part you might use the opposite technique. And that's what those arpeggios help you do. I'm always squawking at you to play is get where you can do all of the things with your right hand. Then you have a full toolbox. All right, let's talk quickly about the second part of this. And it's a longer section, obviously. It's whatever, another 16 measures or something. I would do exactly what Vicky's recommending. Slow down. Go listen to the MP3. Go listen to the piano YouTube link, and then come back and play this nice and slow. You can tell just by looking at it, it's almost all eighth notes. da 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 da, right? A lot of eighth notes. And so when there's a quarter note, you want to make sure to really respect that moment. I'd like to just go through, play the melody with you a little bit, and make sure that there is nothing crazy that I forgot to tell you about. And then I'm going to send you on your way to work on it on your own. But let's go through. Let's just play the melody. We'll talk about it. Again, all of these chords, there's nothing fancy in the chord structure. The chords are absolutely, it's a 3-chord song. There's nothing fancy going on in this quarterly. But to get the melody right, and then as we build into tucking in some of those chords underneath there, we're going to end up with this really fancy, beautiful piece. Okay, so from measure 9, I'm going to play just the ukulele melody line and make sure that there's nothing I haven't forgot to talk about. How do you get into MP3? Okay, so the MP3s, go to the website. I recommend going to it on a computer. There's the schedule right here in the middle, right, with all those words that I'm always trying to figure out how to get less words on there. And then on right over on this side, there's a little box up at the top that says sign up for our emails. And right underneath that box, there's a box that says, I'm sorry, I think I'm lying to you. Hold on. Let me make sure I got it up here. Join our email list is the top box on the right side. Right under that is member login, and hopefully you have given some thought to becoming a member, right? And then right under that is all the songs. And I'm going to change the title of that to say all the songs MP3s, okay? MP3s for all the songs is what I'll change it to. And there are, if I remember right, we're at 99, right? We have 99 tunes in there. So every single song you can listen to, okay? By the way, we're going to have a massive celebration when we get legit 100 songs in there. So be ready. Get ready for the celebration. Okay. I like plucking my thumb is an unruly member. Isn't that funny? We all have our finger that doesn't cooperate. These days, if I could chop, well, no, it's this guy. If I could chop this pinky off, if I could just chop it off, right, I would do it. I'm so angry at this pinky. It gets stuck on me all the time. Clunk, right? But sometimes it's this guy, sometimes it's this guy, right? Fingers. Okay. So on the website, Q, third box down on the right side, it says all the songs. That's where all the MP3s are. And super helpful tool. Super helpful tool, I think. Okay. Most of the advanced players I know use those things pretty heavily, so you probably should be too. All right, from measure 9, we'll go through, and I'll just make sure I've talked to you about the main ideas here. By the way, I left in the pianos and fortes and mezzo fortes and this type of stuff. On ukulele, we usually can just delete all of those because we really only have one volume. Yeah, you can play the beginning a little bit quieter. That's what you're supposed to do. Then now this is mezzo forte, which means, you're going to play it pretty loud. Okay. And so we can talk about that over time. Those of you guys who are like, yes, I want to play Beethoven and I want to play it well. You would start off this piece quiet. Doom, ba-doom, boom, 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 ba-da, 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 bum, ba-da-dum, bum. And then when you get to the next part, mezzo forte, you're going to put a little bit more energy into it. Ba-da, ba-da, bum, 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 whatever it goes, right? And so I left those on here from the original sheet music, just so you would say, oh, okay, there. You'll notice at measure 17, it says dolce. That means sweetly. Now you're playing exactly the same piece of music starting there that you played in the beginning. That's what they call the recapitulation. There's all these things that you go to school for to study. It's just playing the same thing again. But in what Beethoven seems to indicate, I want you to play the first part quiet, and when you come back around at measure 17, I want you to play it sweetly, but I didn't change the dynamics on that. So I want you to play it loud, but sweetly, right? And so it's fascinating to think about what he was really trying to get to there. Okay. All right. Finally, after all that talk, we're going to play through just the melody from measure 9. 1, 2, 3, 4. 3, oh, oh, oh. 1, oh, 3, oh, 3, 1. 10, 8, 7, 5, 3, 1, oh, oh, 1, oh, 3, 1, oh, 1, 5, 3, 12, 10, 8, 7, 5, 3, 1. Quarter note. 10, 8, 7, 5, 3, 1. Oh, quarter note. 8, 7, 5, 3, 1. Oh, second page. 3, quarter note. Oh, 2, oh, 1, 3, oh, 1. Oh, 1, 3, 1, 3, oh, and then it's right back to the same idea from the beginning, but sweetly this time, sweet and loud. 1, 3, 1, 3, oh, 1, 8, 3, 3, oh, oh, 1, 1, oh, 3, oh, 1, 3. 3, 5, 3, oh, 1, 3, 1, 3, oh, 3, 3, 1, 3, oh, 1, 5, 1, 5, 5, 3, 5, 7, 8, 3, 5, 1, oh, 3, 1, 3, 3, oh, 1. Okay, really, really good. All right, back to work, Kat. I want to try to be finished by 2 now. You guys, a lot of you guys are going back to work and back to school and stuff. So measures 17 through 24 are basically identical to 1 through 8. So if you learn 1 through 8, you've got that other section. So you really only have 2 sections of the song that you got to study this tonight. And then I'll be posting the next few sections of this over the next couple days. So we're going to have a fun time digging into this. It's definitely a challenging piece, not necessarily any more challenging than Sunrise, Sunset, or Tomorrow, but just challenging in a different way. We're going to be all over the fretboard on this thing, and it'll be fun. So all right, hopefully that's given you something to think about today. Go forth and Beethovenize, and that's what I know. So, all right, have a great day, you guys. I'm gonna end it. Oh, I gotta say goodbye to everybody. Tell me goodbye, and then we'll go. Cat had to sneak out, Lindy. So this is going to be fun, and it's going to be beautiful when it's all done. It's really going to be it's not a lot of work. It's just sort of just like classical music. It's just a lot, right? You're welcome, Renee. Have a wonderful day. See you tonight. Pauline, very nice. It's going to be beautiful. Valerie, this is all your fault. Thanks for making me do it, right? Right. I used to play this piece on piano, and I absolutely adore it. Every single note of it is just brilliant, and it's just really wonderful. So I'm glad we're doing it, Valerie. Thanks for pushing it. Jacqueline, see you soon. Patty, play slow, guys. That's the message. I think we got it loud and clear today. Take your time with it. See you tonight, Chris. Vicky, this is great. Kind of like practicing the scale. Yeah, there's a lot of scales in it. I'm telling you. 12, 10, 8, 7, 5, 3. I mean, we're going to be, and then you go up and then to 10 and do that same scale, and then to 8 and do the same scale. And then when you come back up, we do the C scale. So yeah, it's just written very scaly, and a good chance for you to be thinking about how all that fits together. Lanny, so glad you're back. Good to see you, bud. All right, hope to see you tonight, Phyllis. Have a great night. Leslie, good to see you. Later. See you tonight, Lynn. Jerry, I'll talk to you later. All right, dropping the stream. You guys have a wonderful day. Be good. Stay inside. Don't just be safe. I'll talk to you soon.